Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite. As far as tonight's AEW Dynamite does go, I thought it was an okay show. I didn't think it was great or anything. I didn't think it was anything like super special. It was Fight for the Fallen, but what does that even mean? Like, there was nothing special about this show. Nothing that was like, oh my God, they have to add a special name to it because it makes it that much better. Like, no. It just felt like a show. And honestly, I don't know if you feel the same way here, but I felt like some of the wrestling tonight was a little lesser than we normally get on an AEW television show. Like, Adam Hangman Page and Orange Cassidy was pretty good. Other than that, I felt like things felt rushed on this show. And then the main event, all of a sudden at one point, kind of just like towards the end of it, right before Switchblade came out, it felt like they were stalling. Like I don't know. The show felt off compared to normal Dynamites. So I don't know if you feel the same or not, but if I'm voting, I'm going to say the show was just all right. What did you think?
I mean, I don't really know how I feel about the show. I will say there was some stuff that was like newsworthy. There was some stuff that was like that happened that doesn't normally happen, but I don't know.
I'll tell you right now, we didn't need that Mercedes in-ring segment. The video was more than enough. The video was way more than enough. Like, she said nothing of note other than, I'm going to fight Mina Shirakawa. And she didn't even say her last name right. But anyways, I'm going to fight Mina on this weekend, and I'm going to get more gold. Honestly, because the AEW title is not on the line, I think Mina wins. I could be wrong, but because it's just the New Japan and the Rev Pro belts, I think Mina Shirakawa wins. That's just my prediction.
Probably.
But yeah, the show to me just felt a little off, and I don't know why, but it felt off. More video packages than normal as well. Don't get me started on the freaking new theme song. What'd you think of that?
Well, you didn't like it?
Not for a wrestling show.
It didn't really fit a wrestling show, honestly.
Well, I mean, it could if you edited the video different, but the video was still edited in the same style that you would normally use for like a rock song or something like that. But it was, yeah. I'm so excited by the Pointer Sisters. And so it's like, I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. But the way the video is playing, it's like boom, 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 all these clips and like action and this and that. It just, the video and then the song, it felt like someone made a video and then overlaid the song onto it. Because to me, I felt like even with like the edit of the video to the music, it wasn't even edited correctly to the music. Plus, why Snoop in this opening of Dynamite now? Snoop's in the Dynamite opening when the last time we saw him in a wrestling ring was WrestleMania 39.
I don't
know. Snoop, Shaq, and Mike Tyson all in the intro video.
I saw Shaq. Last time we saw Shaq was he was in the ring with Cody.
Yes. Which he hasn't done anything wrestling related since, so it's like, that's fine, whatever. But then Mike Tyson, okay, cool. There's like a quick shot of him punching Jericho. And then there's Snoop. And it's just straight on Snoop. It's not like Snoop in the ring doing something like when he fell off the top rope with that splash. It's not Snoop, whatever. Snoop's like, let me go find it really fast. Hold on. I'm going to pull up the spot with Snoop. We'll pull it up on the screen. It's literally just like a clear shot of Snoop. I'm like, what? Why? Here we go. Let me pull this up on the screen. Actually, hold on. I got to find the Snoop spot first, because if I play the video, probably going to like copyright. So yeah, it's, here it is. It was Jericho. The Mike Tyson part was him shoving Jericho. Also, both Big Justice and Big Boom AJ are in it as well.
Hey, did you see the stuff that it was?
So there, it was Snoop. Just Snoop, straight up Snoop. Then we also had where is it? Right there, AJ, Justice right before him. Tyson thing right here. There's Shaq there going to the ring for his match when he had that tag match. And then we have Jericho and Tyson here. But it's like, okay, Shaq, cool, whatever. Tyson, cool, whatever. But Snoop, who the last time we saw him in a wrestling ring was WrestleMania for WWE, I'm just like, I don't know about that one. What were we going to say? Did I see what?
Did you see the stuff with Big AJ on Ring of Honor? They're calling Chris Jericho a jackass.
No, wasn't that Collision?
I think it might have been Collision, actually.
I thought it was a Collision when Big Justice said, "You're a jackass" or something like that.
Like, this is a little kid. You're having him cuss on TV.
Hey, he's 11. Jackass ain't that bad of a word.
Still, though, if I was a parent.
I wouldn't care if my kid said jackass. You know. I don't think jackass is that bad. It's not like he's saying dick or fuck or dumbass. Or, you know, jackass, whatever. It's a donkey. It's a donkey. But, yeah, and then cope. Just cope. And did you hear Excalibur's reasoning for this?
What was the reasoning?
I'm going to read it to you right here. Hold on. Where did it go? I had it. Because someone, no. It's a different tweet. Because someone wrote it out to me. Because I was like, wait, what? Let me find the tweet now. I said, did they give an explanation or did I miss something? Excalibur said, and I quote, "He had numerous names in his long career, but now he's just decided to go for cope." That's it. That's it. No real explanation. Also, we got a couple bit donations here on Twitch. Thank you to Esports Gaming Rules and Muscle Man Malcolm. We hit a hype train. We're at level 1 right now, guys. Esports Gaming Rule says, Happy New Year's 2025 and prayers to Nola. And congrats to Shinsuke Nakamura on his win in Noah, the new year 2025. And Omos being the GHC Heavyweight Tag Team Champions in Noah. Yeah, did you see that? Omos is now one half of the goddamn Tag Team Champions.
I think it's cool. I mean, you're not really using him on WWE television. Let him go do stuff for Noah.
What I thought was the best that they were doing was promoting Omos for the show by showing how much taller and bigger he is than everybody in Japan. Did you see those videos over the weekend?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Those are great. I sent that to my buddy who loves all things Japanese culture, but doesn't really know much wrestling. He's been to a couple shows with me, and that's about it. His extension of years ago, he went to 2 SmackDowns with me. Anyways, I was showing him those videos, and he's like, "Oh, that's a great way to promote a big athlete like that." Especially when he tries to sit in the Mario Kart arcade thing. I'm like, oh my God. But Shinsuke got a big win. I've seen the Shinsuke match. I haven't seen anything else from the no show, but I'm like, I want to watch this Shinsuke match because I have a feeling it's going to be good, and it was really, really good. So, shout out to that. Esports Gaming Rule says, Tony Khan, just like throwing money on songs, basically throwing money, throwing unanswered promises and random, I guess you could say, nicknames or names on shows, because they used Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle for the pay-per-view, which it mattered for nothing. Now they got this new song, I'm so excited, matters for nothing. As far as names, this was Fight for the Fallen, but they've promoted helping the Red Cross and helping other things on non-Fight for the Fallen shows. And then, Luke, did this feel like a very super special, the mother of all simulcasts?
Nope.
No, it felt like any other Dynamite that was actually a little lesser than most. I wouldn't say it was a bad show. I enjoyed the 2 hours and thought it went by really quickly and was easy to watch. But it felt different and it didn't feel like a normal Dynamite. So, I don't know. The Ricochet stuff was really good. Ricochet's heel turn has been one of the best things that they've done in the last month, I will say. Muscle Man 85 says, did you guys have a good Christmas? Yes, I did. Luke, did you?
I did. I got some new wrestling shirts for Christmas. I got an Adam Copeland T-shirt.
Well, that's outdated now because he's changed his name.
What? Yeah, good timing.
Dude,
I got
I just got an idea. I'm gonna put. We're putting out a shirt tonight. It just says Cope. He's just gonna say Colt in just straight font.
I got that Cody Rhodes jersey from WWE Shop. I know they've been making a lot of jerseys. I got the Cody Rhodes one, not the Bad Blood one. It was just the Red Nightmare jersey.
Like as a baseball, football, hockey jersey.
Football.
Nice. Okay, I know which one you're talking about then.
I think it is. Yeah. then I think I already said this on last Monday. I will be going to the Royal Rumble on February 1st and WrestleCon. So if anyone in the chat is planning on going to either of those and you see me,
not WrestleCon, isn't it Wrestle?
It's WrestleCon.
Is it? Oh, I thought it was a different one. My bad.
Yeah. No, it's WrestleCon.
I'm wrong. But Muscle Man also has a question for you because I already gave my thoughts on this. So he says, "What did Luke think of the Ricochet toilet paper segment at World's End?"
So the way I viewed it, I kind of viewed it as a way for like trying to give sympathy for like Ricochet at first, because I know he's been getting booed a lot, and fans just started like not liking him.
No. That's all on purpose because he's turning heel and he's playing into it. So that's all on purpose. The booing, the cheering, calling him bald as a negative. That's all on purpose because he's turning heel, as we fully saw tonight. And last week on Dynamite, Swerve told him, "You don't win the tournament, I'm gonna humiliate you." And humiliating him was throwing the toilet paper at him instead of streamers like they normally do in Japan and stuff. So it was all by design.
I know at first when I first saw it, I thought it was just for the fans just trying to have sympathy for Ricochet, because so that way it's a way for him not to get booed at first.
No. They want Ricochet to get booed. They want him to get booed.
At least the way I viewed it, though, at first.
Right. Yeah, I mean...
Because I know at first they were trying to make him a big baby face.
Oh, yeah. But no. The whole thing is now he's supposed to be this geek heel, and he thinks that the Hurt Business still want him, and I think eventually he will end up in the Hurt Syndicate. Which I never really paid attention to their theme song till tonight. All I keep saying is, "We hurt people, we hurt people, we hurt people," or something like that.
It's like, "Hey, yo, we hurt people. We hurt people."
Yeah.
It begins like,
but it's just
boom,
like, it just repeats and says the same thing. "Oh, we hurt people, we hurt people." I'm like, oh my God.
Well, the beginning of it is like, "We break rules, we break checks, we break arms, we break legs."
Because I didn't hear it when they made their entrance, but I heard it after the match. And I just hear, "We hurt people, we hurt people, we hurt people." And then "We Hurt People" started trending with people making fun of it. Like literally. Like some people saying, "Hey, it's a catchy tune." And other people are like, "It's way too repetitive." So, yeah. Esports Gaming Rules also says, "I really enjoy some of the WWE content on Netflix and Big E hosting the Raw Classics and also hosting the past Roads to WrestleMania recaps for Raw." So all I've watched so far of the new content, I guess, hosted by Big E, I saw the Stone Cold Steve Austin version of Raw Classics. I watched most of that. I think I got 3/4 of the way through. Basically, all this stuff is that they're putting up on Netflix. It's just Big E coming out on a virtual set, which looks really cool, and going, "Oh, we got this here from Stone Cold Steve Austin, back in the day when he showed up on Monday Night Raw. His first real big feud was with this man, Bret Hart. Check this out from 1996 or something like that, or 95 it was. I don't remember exactly the date. But it's just him, basically Big E, doing a small monologue and then cutting it to a video clip or a segment from an episode of Raw. The craziest one is they do the best of 2024, also hosted by Big E. And he talks about how the Judgment Day was Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, Carlito, and Dominic Mysterio. He's like, "But that group changed." He goes, "Guys, erase Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley." So they erase them off the screen. He goes, "Now push this over, because we've also got Liv Morgan joining as well." And then they throw a picture of Liv on there and Raquel, but Raquel's small, and he doesn't even mention Raquel. I'm like, damn, the shade. But yeah, they got a bunch of Raw content now up on Netflix here in the US. They've also got SmackDown and NXT content internationally. But it's basically, so right now, and we're not going to talk a bunch of WWE here, but right now, if you want to watch old episodes of Raw. The last 3 years of Raw, all episodes are there. Other than that, they're slowly adding those other ones to Netflix. So they've got older episodes as well, but 2002 to now, everything is there. And then they're slowly adding the rest over time. I don't know how long that's going to take, but they're slowly adding more over time. Also, Muscle Man with another bit donation. Thank you. He says, when do you think Speedball Mike Bailey will debut for AEW? Also, how hype are you guys for Kenny Omega returning? Do you think he'll take the belt from Okada? Great questions there. Great questions there, because I keep forgetting that Speedball is reportedly, we don't know for sure, like everyone said that it's going to happen, but Speedball going to AEW seems basically like a lock. When he debuts, let me look at their schedule really fast, and I'm going to have you answer the second part of that question. Are you excited for Kenny coming back next week, and do you think he beats Okada for the Continental title?
Oh yeah, I'm very hyped for Kenny, like coming back to AEW. I don't think I told you guys this, but Kenny Omega, he's one of my favorite, probably my favorite wrestler outside of WWE right now, or like ever.
Oh, no. Like now that Cody is gone from AEW, I feel like Kenny's their biggest star. Like Kenny, Will Ospreay is getting there, but Kenny's their biggest star. And if you really look at when the ratings and the excitement and the ticket sales and everything declined, it's when Kenny got sick. Like it was a little before that, but it really took a dip when Kenny got sick and was gone for 18 months. And like Okada didn't really help. Bringing in Ospreay didn't really help. Bringing in Mercedes didn't help zero. Like, it didn't help at all. But I feel like losing Omega was hard on them. So great that he's back. He's wrestling this weekend, Wrestle Dynasty against Gabe Kidd. I would assume he wins that since it's his first match since November. I can't remember. It's November, December 2023. Maybe he was even October. I'd have to look. But yeah, late 2023 is the last time he had a match. But so yeah, I'm excited as well. As far as Speedball does go, I'm trying to look like where they're going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. I was seeing if there was anywhere like significant maybe to him, but no. Because I was thinking if they're going to be in Canada or something anytime soon, but they're not. They're more in like southern states for the most part.
I don't know. When the reports first came out, sorry to cut you off.
Go for it.
So like when the first reports first came out that he was like heading to AEW once his TNA deal was up, I was like, what? I was kind of shocked he didn't want to go WWE because I know, like, I think during the hiring freeze, I think he'd said that he was getting ready to sign with WWE, but like the hiring freeze like stopped his like hiring process.
Well, I know that was kind of why they didn't get Switchblade. But I can maybe, if they're doing I don't know what the plans are for Grand Slam in Australia, but if they're doing some sort of like a casino gauntlet or some sort of like a multi-man match where we don't know all the competitors, maybe they could do him there. Have him debut in Australia at Grand Slam.
I honestly just hope this isn't going to be just another guy. They're going to start off a little strong and shove him in Ring of Honor.
Well, I hope not. I hope he doesn't get shuffled into Ring of Honor. That was my worry for Ricochet. And it's like, Ricochet, you could see where he's going to be. He's going to be right kind of in the same spot he was in WWE. Right there at like the top of the mid-card, but he's never going to break into the top. And so, like, at least they're doing this heel turn with Ricochet that I think is going really well. Mike Bailey, he's going to have great matches, but I fear like that's all he's going to be. A guy having really good matches with people. Oh, we need this guy to have a good match. Speedball, go do it. So that's my worry. That was my worry with Ricochet too. And they've kind of exceeded what I was hoping. So we'll see. But also Ricochet, a bigger name to the casual fans in Speedball Mike Bailey. So that's another crutch he's got to overcome as well.
Also, one interesting thing that the reports said whenever like Mike Bailey was going to AEW is that whenever TNA wrote him off, like TNA television, they said, I think the reports were if he was going to WWE, then they wouldn't have written him off television.
Well, not necessarily. They probably still would have had to write him off. I know for sure they had to take the X Division title off of him.
Well, yeah, but like I think storyline wise, they like wrote him off television.
Yeah, they did that. But like also, if they want to really wait, and I don't know how long they want to wait, if they do like the Revolution ladder match or whatever they call it at Revolution.
The winner gets like a TNT title shot.
Yeah, they can do it there because sometimes they don't announce everybody for those ladder matches, and Revolution is March 9th. That's a little ways away. Alexa, how many days till March 9th? It's still 67 days away. I don't know if he wants to wait 3 months.
Honestly, what they could do is start him out in the Battle Royal, have him win a few matches, then put him in the ladder match.
Well, wait. Never mind. Next week. I say he debuts. We got the Casino Gauntlet next week, and we don't know names.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. You just kind of triggered that in my head when you said Battle Royal. I was like, oh, wait, no, that's next week. So, yeah, no. That'd actually be a perfect one. Next week, probably. I could see it. Not probably, because I don't know. But that would make a lot of sense because it's a match where we don't know the names, and Tony Khan likes the surprises. He likes to see and this is not a knock. Tony Khan likes to have guys come out unannounced as a surprise to gauge their excitement and not just like, oh, I announced this guy on social media. He's coming in next week. No, he wants the in the moment. I didn't expect that excitement. That's one thing that I've heard before that Tony Khan really likes. Gauging people's like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting this reaction kind of deal. So. But before we get into anything else, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or you can help us out in the live chat, just like Esports Gaming Rules and Muscle Man did by donating a Twitch bit. That way you help the channel and get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube by hitting that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel in another way, you can do so by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to some videos I'm working on right now. You get emotes and emojis you can use in the live chat and the comments that no one else can. And so much more. Maybe some watch-alongs coming next week as well. Might do one or two. You can get those either as a member on YouTube or patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And also remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Right now, a lot of games are still on sale from the holidays. We got Alan Wake 2, Grand Theft Auto 5, Genshin Impact's got a bunch of sales and like discounts on whatever they call their version of bucks and coins and whatnot. So go over to the Epic Game Store, check out the sales that they got going on right now. And if you do buy something, well, use this code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Also, we are brought to you by David's Cookies. We'll talk about them a little bit later. With all of that, as far as this show does go, scroll back up to the top of my notes here. The show kicks off. So straight up, how'd you watch the show? TBS?
TBS on YouTube TV.
Okay, same here. Because for some reason I usually watch on the TBS app, or actually website technically, but it kept like not freezing or messing up. It was like it would just say error, and I'd have to just refresh it, and then it would come back on, no problem. So I'm like, oh, let me just go to YouTube TV. That'd be the easier way to do it. So watch it on YouTube TV. Don't know the experience with Max. Apparently, I saw some people saying that they didn't do like the side-by-side or the picture-in-picture or something like that on Max. I don't know. I didn't watch, so I can't really comment on that. But if anybody did watch on Max and you're watching live right now, put in the comments, and I'll just read. These don't have to be super chatted or anything. But I want to know your experience watching Max. If you noticed anything different, and if you felt that it was better or worse watching through Max, if you did. I don't have Max, so I just watch through YouTube TV. But the show did air on Max. The show did air on TBS like normal. And also, if you have Max, old AEW content is now up. All of 2019, I think, is there. And they have it broken up into AEW content and then AEW special events. So there's two different sections under the AEW stuff on Max. Again, I don't have Max. I haven't checked it out. This is just what I've been hearing. So Espinosa says, I watched AEW on Max in 4K and Dolby Atmos. Well, that's really cool. Because YouTube TV, the best you're going to get, I believe the best TBS on YouTube TV is 1080-60. I know you can get some channels in 4K, but not all. At least that I've seen. I don't know. I'm streaming it. It's not going to ever look full 4K anyways, based off of your internet, but that's cool to hear. It'll stream in 4K and Dolby Atmos. So if you got a cool audio setup in your house, then it's going to sound really cool. Like, I have a friend that basically turned his basement into a theater, and it's got surround sound and everything. It would probably sound like you're in the arena with that Dolby Atmos then. That's awesome. Too bad he's back in California, and so I can't go test it at his house because I know he's probably got Max. Anyways.
What do you think about the stuff on like AEW gonna be on Max? Do you think it's gonna hurt the ratings?
That's a tough question, and I actually have potential answers for you there. So I did about an hour before, and you just reminded me on this, an hour before AEW went on the air tonight with Dynamite, I ran a couple polls. One on YouTube with our, YouTube subscribers, and one through Twitter X. And I said, how are you planning on watching Dynamite tonight? TBS like normal or streaming it on Max? So as far as the Twitter poll, 51% said Max, and this is only about 40 votes. But I did it like randomly in the middle of the day, like an hour before the show went on the air, so I didn't get a lot of time to get a lot of votes here. But 51% said stream it on Max. 48% said TBS like normal. So I don't know now. I should have maybe worded this a little differently because I don't know if that means, people are switching over to stream it on Max from TBS, or if it's like, oh, I have Max, so I'm going to check it out. You know what I mean? But about half of these people said Max. But then we go over to YouTube, and then that one's got over 300 votes. And it was 75% of the people said TBS like normal, with only 25 saying stream it on Max. So that is the thing where I feel like it might hurt the rating a little. It might make the rating look lesser than, I guess you would say. And I know if say like 1 week they do, say like this week does 500,000 viewers. All the anti-AEW trolls are going to be like, oh, look, they suck. They suck. Because I don't know if or when or how long it's going to take to get the Max numbers. And if we are even going to get the Max numbers, are they going to put out there every week? 110,000 people watched on Max. 200,000 people watched on Max on this date. I don't know. So that is going to be a tough one. And since it's a holiday today, we're probably not going to get the number for today's show till next Monday, maybe. We're not going to get it tomorrow. Maybe Friday. There's a better chance we probably don't get the number till Monday because of the New Year's holiday. And so it's like, I'm very interested to see this number and then see if they put anything out for Max and say X amount of people watched on Max. Espinosa says, I watched it on Max because my cable provider, Charter Spectrum, has TBS West Coast feed, not East Coast feed. Well, Espinosa, here's a little trick. If you, and this is what I did when I was in California on the West Coast, all you got to do is log in with your cable provider on the TBS website, and you can watch the East Coast and the West Coast feed. So granted, that is a plus for Max, that you can watch it live West Coast, but you were always able to do that because of the TBS app and website. You were always able to watch live on the West Coast. That's how I always watched when I lived in California. I always watched live off of the website because they let you do that. Fox was letting you do that. Fox will let you do that for SmackDown, and USA Network will let you do that for now SmackDown, but Raw and NXT. So that's what I always did. I went to the apps. Now CW says you need a cable provider or an antenna, you ain't watching through our app. So yeah. CW just says screw all of you. Bunch of people like it. I didn't get CW or NXT live last night. It didn't come on until like midnight because of the damn Oklahoma Sooner game. And then some people didn't get it because if your CW is a Nexstar owned CW, they aired it's called Coast to Coast 2025 New Year's celebration. So I know LA didn't get NXT last night till midnight because they were running a special New Year's celebration thing. But yeah, use the TBS app or website. What's up?
I don't even get the CW network. All right, at least you guys got it.
True.
I have to find different sources to watch NXT, or a lot of times I kind of just wait till they upload the clips on YouTube.
Right.
It's probably the better route, honestly.
So, where was I? Orange Cassidy versus Hangman Page is on tap for tonight's show. Got a 4-way. This coming off of the 4-way from the pay-per-view. Julia Hart will be facing, like, they kind of run down everything. And then they told us, hey, welcome to Fight for the Fallen. There's a new intro and all of that. And where was I? Excalibur welcomes us alongside Tony Schiavone. And then the greatest tournament wrestler of all time, Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada, is shown walking into the building where they run down the card, like I stated. And then they send it to the Death Riders. We got comments from Jon Moxley backstage after World's End. When bullets start flying and things get real, it's very different and difficult to see how things normally act. Moxley said Marina Shafir took a bullet and he expects nothing less from his soldiers by his side. He grabbed the entire AEW organization by the strap and gave a guided and has guided it through a pandemic, taking bullet after bullet. He said that he will destroy the AEW World Title before he lets anybody else take their greedy paws, their soulless hands, and criminal fingers to grab it again. Moxley knows what Adam Copeland is all about. Death Riders aren't rebels. No one has authority over them, as Moxley is the king. I'm like, no, people do. It's called the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan, at least. He said he's the king, and at World's End, Copeland was just the loudest guy in the room. They cut to rated FTR. They talk about tonight's main event. Copeland said if the Death Riders want to take out his friends, then it's time to fight back. Copeland knows he's sicker than Moxley. This should be fun. Now, if you didn't see the post-show scrum, the press conference after AEW World's End, Copeland did say he wants to go for the world title. He wants to go after Moxley in the world title, but he also wants to take the trios titles with FTR. So they want all the gold that they can take. He wants the world title. They want the trios titles together, and then FTR want the tag titles. But what do you think of the doing both of these little talking segments to open up the show? And we didn't even get Hangman and Orange Cassidy coming out till like 8-9 minutes into the show.
I mean, it was interesting. Also, what do you think about the whole like rated FTR group?
It's just okay. It's nothing special. Honestly, I'm just going to say it. People might hate me for this. I don't think it's anything special. It's cool. We know that they've got a real life friendship and bond. But other than that, it's just like, oh, it's just FTR getting latched on to somebody else again. For the last year almost. That's what FTR has felt like. They got, actually a year and a half. They got latched on to Punk. Then they got latched on with the Outriders. Now they're latched on with Cope. They don't feel special anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that is unfortunate, but I think this is kind of like one of those things where it's like they kind of ran out of ideas. They don't really have anything for FTR at the moment. So like, let's just throw him with Copeland.
And honestly, I don't know whose idea it was. Could have been theirs. Could have been Tony's. Could have been somebody backstage. I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, it honestly could have just been theirs.
Like, the three guys are cool. They work well together. They're real friends and all that. But it's like, on television, it doesn't do much for me because FTR need to be rebuilt. And just throwing them with Adam Copeland almost feels like this guy's cool. This guy's hot. Maybe he can get them going again. Not like we're going to do good things with them to build them up. Honestly, what I would have liked to see is them turn heel, where they were all friend, buddy, cool with the Outriders, and then they turn on the Outriders. That's what I would have liked to see.
I mean, we'll see.
So, as far as the show does go, kick off with Hangman Adam Page and Orange Cassidy. Both traded finishing attempts early on right at the bell, but they countered it immediately into a stalemate. Page no-sold forearms and chopped Cassidy in the corner as Excalibur plugged how all Dynamite episodes and special events from 2019 to now are on Max. Now, I don't have Max, so I can't check that, but I've heard not all yet, but all will be. All 2019 for sure are. Page then planted Cassidy to the floor with a springboard lariat before sending him crashing into the barricade. Despite early chance for him, Page flipped the crowd off, and it's like, oh, they're behind you, bud. They like you. Anyways, back inside the ring, Page caught a crossbody and delivered a fall-away slam into the corner for a two. Cassidy then got a near fall with a PK and a stun dog millionaire that sent Page outside where he wanted to dive, but Page caught him. Cassidy avoided an apron powerbomb, but not a fall-away slam. And the way Orange Cassidy sold this, he took that fall-away slam and then he flopped like a fish up the ramp a little bit. I thought it was pretty funny. We go to a commercial break here. Page is in control. Page wanted a buckshot at one point. Cassidy rolled to the floor, waving to him. He basically said, nope, you ain't getting it. Bye-bye. He rolled to the floor. He repeated the spot a second time, and the Hangman was pissed off. Cassidy then put his hands in his pockets at one point and hit a drop kick. Kip up, float over into the corner, and slammed Page repeatedly into the buckle. Cassidy wanted a top rope DDT, but was caught. Page wanted to lawn dart him, but Cassidy countered into multiple DDTs. Cassidy fired up with some little kicks, hit a thrust kick, but Page no-sold it into a lariat. Page wanted a buckshot, but Cassidy countered into a beach break for a two in a solid, cool-looking sequence. Cassidy connected on multiple orange punches. Page rolled to the apron, only to eat another. Cassidy stumbled around to go for a home run shot, but Page flipped over into a buckshot and got the victory in a really fun opening match. What'd you think?
It was definitely a fun opening match. I enjoyed it a lot, actually.
I'd probably say best match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
Second. So after the match, Page just jumps on Orange and he's just beating him. He hits him with a dead eye, I think, at one point, and the referees and Christopher Daniels run out. Now, we know, based off of the pay-per-view, Daniels is no longer an EVP, so I don't know exactly what kind of power Christopher Daniels has. I guess he's just a producer now, so he's going to go out there and try to stop things. I don't know. But he's got
so why is he no longer an EVP?
So he was an EVP because Tony couldn't trust the Bucks when they turned on him at one point. And then with Kenny Omega back, he is an EVP, and so they don't need Daniels. Basically, I don't know. The EVP thing, here's what I don't get. So Daniels was not even really an EVP. He was supposed to be Tony Khan's mouthpiece. Like, Tony Khan doesn't speak to the live crowd or speak on television, but whenever Tony Khan wants something done, Christopher Daniels will relay the message on television, which I'm like, well, that's what they do with Tony Schiavone on commentary, so what the hell? And so now with all of this, they're basically saying, oh, we don't need Daniels to be the authority figure. Kenny's back. Kenny can be the authority figure-ish. So my question is Kenny an EVP? Is Kenny going to wrestle? We know Kenny's cleared to wrestle because he's wrestling Gabe Kidd this weekend. So I don't know. Weird. When the Bucks come back, I don't know. Probably Revolution because it's in LA.
I don't know. Revolution seems really far out, though. I mean,
67 days. We looked it up.
You're telling me we're not going to get another AEW pay-per-view till like March?
Basically. Well, February 15th is the Australia show, and we don't know exactly how that's going to work. That is what's February 15th? February 15th is a Saturday. So technically we would get that Friday night-ish. It'd be the same time as like a New Japan show or whatever, but yeah, that's a weekend thing. So I guess you could say maybe that's a pay-per-view on February 15th. And then 3 weeks later is the Revolution show. So I don't know, because when Tony was asked, is this a pay-per-view? Is this a special on Max? Is this a special on TV? Tony's like, oh, we're still trying to figure that out because we wanted to give it. He had said something along the lines of, because it's going to be in the middle of the night, he doesn't really want to have to charge people. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, he said something along the lines of he didn't want to charge people the same price as a pay-per-view to make them have to stay up and watch it at night. So I don't know if it's going to be like a discounted show. If it's, oh, you got Max, you can watch it on Max, or if it's, I don't know. We don't know what the Australia show is yet. So. But Daniels comes out, tries to get Hangman off, tries to stop him. He pleads with Hangman. He says, we're friends. I'm your friend. And Hangman boots him in the face. Page then went to the back, and Daniels is yelling at Daniels to stay out of my business as he goes to the back. So I think we're going to get a Christopher Daniels Hangman match here sometime soon. In the next couple of weeks, probably.
When was the last time Daniels wrestled?
Give me 2 seconds, don't tell you. Chris Daniels cage match. Christopher Daniels' last match was September 12th, 2024. He lost to Jack Perry with the TNT title on the line. So that was after he already had become an EVP. So, yeah. Totally didn't even remember that match. Esports Gaming Rules with another bit donation. Actually, 2 more. He says, what do you think of WWE's Asuka interacting with Stardom stars like Starlight Kid and Mina? And it looks fans are freaking out in social media, at least. I haven't seen any of that, so I don't know exactly what you're talking about. But if she's interacting with people on social media and like people from Stardom, okay. I don't think it means anything. I don't think it means she's going to go work for Stardom, because WWE has a somewhat, I guess you could say, relationship with Marigold. But I don't know if I've heard correctly. Asuka doesn't like Rossi Ogawa, who runs and owns Marigold, who used to run and own Stardom. So even if they were maybe to ask her go work Marigold, I don't think she would. But I don't think they have a relationship with Stardom either. So I don't know how that's all going to work. Because Stardom, part of New Japan, kind of, they're owned by the same company, Bushiroad. But they've got a thing with AEW. And yeah, I don't think it means anything at all as far as Asuka interacting with people from Stardom.
I mean, I don't really know much about. I don't know much about Stardom or Marigold, so I probably don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, Stardom is basically all you gotta know. Stardom is the top women's promotion in Japan, if not the world. And then
basically the world, honestly.
And then basically, Rossi Ogawa a couple years ago needed funding because the COVID kind of hurt the company and this and that. So he sold the company to Bushiroad, but they left him in charge. And then I guess like he had a deal that expired. And so once his contract expired, he wanted to run his own company again because they told him you would still have full control over the company, but we're the owners. And they weren't letting him have full control. They were kind of vetoing things he wanted to do. So he said, screw you guys. I'm going to go start my own company. And that's when he started Marigold. And so he took a bunch of people from Stardom, Julia, Sari, and, you know, that's why Julia took so long to come to WWE, because she was like, hey, I want to help Rossi get this company off and running, and then I'll come to WWE. So I was supposed to be Jay White's backstage. He said they aren't starting 2025 out like they wanted because he's not the AEW World Champion. But or more opportunities to become the champion. He said White would have been champion if not for Wheeler Yuta. White promises that he'll show Yuta how he feels, as words won't just do justice. He said, tonight we have a triple threat match where the winner gets to come out first in the Casino Gauntlet next week, and the winner of the Casino Gauntlet gets a shot for the AEW World title. So I have another opportunity to get at the belt. He said it's nothing personal to Roderick Strong and Swerve Strickland. They will breathe with the Switchblade. Good little promo here. I liked it. They're really trying to do something with Jay White now, which I hope they do, because Jay White's one of my, of guys that I feel like are underrated, he's probably towards the top. Of guys that I feel like are underrated right now in wrestling.
Yeah, I really wish he went to WWE. Just imagine the stuff he would have done in WWE.
Right? But it's like the story goes, and I don't know how true it is or how false any of it is. The story is that Triple H wanted to sign him. Vince then put the hiring freeze on, or what they call the hire. I don't even know. Some people say there was. Some people say there weren't a hiring freeze. But basically, the story is that it looked like all was going to happen. He was going to go to WWE, and then they stopped communicating with him. They basically ghosted him. He didn't want to wait around, and I don't know if maybe Tony said you have to sign by a certain day, but the story goes that he got ghosted. He didn't want to wait around. He signed with the AEW. Don't know.
He was probably just like, I guess I'll just go to AEW then.
And it could be hey, they gave me an offer. I'll take that for now, and then see you in 3 years or 5 years or however long this contract is. We'll see what comes.
Hopefully it's just 3 years.
Because I would love for him to be in AEW, feel it out. If it doesn't get any better than it is right now, see if there's interest from WWE, and then go forward.
How old is Jay White, actually? Let me look this up.
Late 20s, maybe?
Jeez, he's
mid to late 20s? He's still young.
He's 32.
Oh, okay. A little older than I thought. I thought like 28, 29.
It's still not bad at all.
No, not at all.
Actually,
not at all. Especially when you see some of these wrestlers wrestling into their late 40s and 50s, and he's not one of these guys doing these crazy Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Lucha spots. He's one of these guys that are doing things that his body's not going to break down. He's not Darby Allin killing himself every week. So moving forward, we had Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Syndicate taking on the Acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Bobby Lashley's sister, Max Caster. If you know, you know. You know? You know? Max Caster's Bobby Lashley's sister?
Oh, yeah, there's that old segment in the past. Sami Zayn paid a bunch of guys to dress up as Bobby Lashley's sisters. One of them was Max Caster.
Yep, 2018.
That was when like Bobby just returned to WWE.
Yeah.
That was like his first like rivalry thing he did.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like it was with Sami Zayn.
So Hurt Syndicate come out, the Claim come out, and instead of Max Caster doing a rap, they send it to a video instead of Max Caster saying, hey, I'm going to be serious. I'm not going to rap, going down to the ring, this and that. Bowen's not really happy with Caster. And we come back, and Caster has a sign from a fan that says, Bowens will be fine. Bowens asked Caster in this video, did you hit me with the ROH title on purpose a few weeks ago? Or was it an accident? Caster said, no, I didn't do it on purpose. Caster said for Bowens to focus. And Bowens was doing the I'm the best wrestler alive thing, and Bowens was kind of getting mad about it. He's like, no, don't just say it. Go prove it to everybody how good you can be. So we get into the ring, and basically the Acclaim are arguing on who's going to start. They're arguing on, I'm going to start. No, I'm going to start. No, I'm going to start. And I'm like, oh, Lord, these two are breaking up. Like, they're breaking up. But this resulted in Bobby Lashley taking them both down, launching Caster with an overhead belly-to-belly. Excalibur brought up MVP, giving Caster a business card, and MVP said that he took too long to answer, and the card has kind of been revoked. Lashley and Benjamin both then beat him up. Caster got off back elbow before being clotheslined to the outside, where Benjamin chucked him repeatedly into the barricade. Owens kind of just watched Didn't really care to go help his partner or anything. Back inside the ring, Caster floated over a suplex and dove for Bowens' hot tag, but Bowens was in for like 30 seconds before tagging right back out. They kept arguing, which led to a suplex from Benjamin. And so he takes this big German suplex from Shelton Benjamin, and MVP's on commentary going, Shelton should give him another one. Give him another one, Shelton. And like, Shelton Benjamin can't hear him at first. And so MVP on commentary yells, hey, Shelton, give him another one. Shelton Benjamin looks over and goes, okay. And he throws him with another big German suplex. I thought that was funny. At this point, the crowd's really behind the Hurt Syndicate. And then Bowens just jumps off the apron as Caster was trying to crawl over for a pin, and just watches Max Caster get his butt beat. Just watches Max Caster get beat up. Lashley tags in, hits him with a spear, spine buster, hurt lock, submission. And Bowens is just sitting there on the outside going, all right. You got what was coming to you. Think you're the best wrestler alive, huh? You aren't. He basically said, you're not the best wrestler alive. And then he kind of looks at the camera and goes, no, he's just a selfish asshole, and walks to the back. I'm like, oh, shit. Is Bowens going to join the Hurt Syndicate? I don't want this group to get too big. Like, we don't need both Bowens and Ricochet. We don't need two more guys. Add one and you're fine. What did you think of the match and whatever's going on with the Acclaimed? And no daddy ass to try and play, daddy.
I kind of just viewed it as a squash match, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't really want Anthony Bowens in the Hurt Syndicate. I think just add Ricochet and you're good. Like, have Ricochet be like your Cedric Alexander almost.
Exactly. So Swerve is backstage with Prince Nana. They're interviewed by Alex Marvez and talked about tonight's big three-way. Strickland apologized for the fans who continue to chant his name, as he's been a little distracted recently, not giving them his full attention, but things are about to change tonight. He reminds everyone, just like 2024, 2025 will be Swerve's house. Strickland then goes on to say, I've never been in one of these casino gauntlet matches before. And Marvez goes, well, you know why, right? And Swerve kind of like ponders for a second. He goes, because every time we've had one, you've been the champion. He goes, exactly. And I need to get it back. And I was like, oh, that's a cool little way to kind of build this up. And so Swerve walks off, and Nana goes, oh, it's everybody, Happy New Year's. And he dances his little dance and goes his way. So this leads to Julia Hart versus Jamie Hayter. Not a bad match, but it was like exactly what I expected. Just a television match with two women who are good in the ring, but it did nothing for me. It literally did nothing for me.
I mean, it wasn't bad, honestly. I mean,
right.
I kind of just viewed it as it's just a Dynamite rivalry that they're just trying to do.
Something for Julia Hart because she hasn't had a match in how many days was it? Hold on.
Since Dynasty.
Well, I wrote like how many days. It was her first match in 255 days.
Yeah, basically since that Dynasty show. Right. That was like back in April?
Something like that.
Yeah, April.
So it was Hart's first match back from shoulder injury, and she slammed Hayter down repeatedly by her hair, but Hayter kept kipping up and returning the favor. Hayter hit an awkward hip toss into a neck breaker, crunched Hart into the corner with multiple splashes until Hart fought out with a clothesline, and they fight on the outside. Hart wanted a crossbody off the apron, got caught. Hayter wanted a suplex on the steps, but got floated over by Hart, who slammed her back of the head first on the steps, and that was a loud little thud when that happened too. Hayter mounted a comeback as she went for a lariat, missed the lariat, and a Hayter breaker connected for her too. They both kind of started taking their time doing things, and I don't know exactly what was going on here. But Hayter did run into a boot at one point. Hart wanted to go for a moonsault, but rolled through, and then hit a back heel trip for a 2. So there was a Heartless that was applied, but Hayter powered out of it to her feet. Hart tried a crucifix counter, only for Hayter to hit a DVD on the knee and a sliding lariat for a 2. Hayter wanted a superplex, but Hart swept out the leg, and Hayter was clutching her left rib cage. This was kind of weird because like she falls off the top rope or whatever, and the commentary's like, "Oh, I think she hurt her right shoulder. Oh no, left shoulder. Now she's grabbing her right ribs. She's injured. She's hurting. She's banged up." Like commentary didn't know what to say because like they thought she hurt one thing, and then she grabbed another thing, and then another thing, and I'm like, just let it play out. The first he said right shoulder. Go for it.
Sorry, but did you think it was a botch, or do you think she was trying to like no selling in like a storyline injury or something? I don't know.
I think it was just she was trying to just sell the spot, and Excalibur thought she came down on the shoulder, and so he thought she was going to maybe sell the shoulder, and then when she started selling the ribs, it threw him off. Because she came down, and it felt like to me she hit mostly shoulder. So I would as a commentator, I would say, "Ooh, that didn't look good. It looked like she may have hurt her shoulder there." But when she goes and starts grabbing her side and her ribs, it's like, "Oh, okay, never mind." So, yeah, it was just commentary trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Jump the gun a little bit in what they thought she was going to sell based off of the bump. So, while she's down, Hart pulls out an arrow. Remember, we've seen her do the bow and arrow stuff in those vignettes. Referee takes the arrow. I think it was Aubrey Edwards. Takes the arrow from her. This then leads to Hayter getting up, but getting the mist in the face. Falling to the mat. And then, yeah. She literally lost to the mist. She didn't do a move. Unless I missed something here. Hart didn't do a move. She misted her in the face. Jamie Hayter fell down and she just pinned her 1, 2, 3. Like the mist usually leads to, you missed them. They can't see. You grab them for your move and then you're good.
I didn't know the mist you were supposed to like that was supposed to like automatically knock someone down. I thought that was just supposed to blind somebody.
That's exactly what I'm saying here. The mist is supposed to be a setup for your finish. Well, she literally the mist and then she just fell down and got pinned. What?
Yeah, I don't agree with it. So like, I kind of compare the mist. But do you remember when like back when Maurice was like paired with Miz, she would always like pepper spray people, and that would like blind people?
Yes.
That's what I kind of view it as. That's kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, go for it.
Like you use the mist or the pepper spray, you blind them, then you hit the finisher, 1, 2, 3, it's over.
Yeah, it was like back in the day. Tajiri used to do his mist. He would do the mist. All of a sudden, his opponent would be like, I can't see. Boom, buzzsaw kick to the head. Shinsuke hits people with the mist. That leads to him hitting them with the Kinshasa. Asuka will hit somebody with a mist, and that'll lead to the spin kick, which sometimes leads to the finish, or sometimes leads to the spin kick, knocks him down, and she puts him in the Asuka lock. So it's like, I don't like the mist being the move that beats them. Because it's like, what? You took the mist and then fell down. I don't know. Maybe we're nitpicking here, but the mist as the finisher, not a big fan of that one. So, a video package plays on the last chapter of Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher and their rivalry. So it looks like that's going to keep going because they talked about, they fought at Full Gear, they fought at World's End. Will won. They're 1-1 and stuff. So it's like, oh, that's extending. And probably extending to Australia. I could see that. I could really see Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay at Grand Slam in Australia.
Oh, that should be the main event, honestly.
You think main event? Not Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the women's world title?
Honestly, do you know how many people would die to see that match as the main event?
But you got to think, Toni Storm is like, right now, other than Rhea Ripley, probably the most popular Australian wrestler. I mean, Kyle Fletcher's up there, but I feel like Toni Storm is more popular than Kyle Fletcher. Plus, Tony's been doing more promotional stuff in Australia. But it can go either way. But I think those are two matches that we could potentially get in the at the Grand Slam Australia show. Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and then Toni Storm and Mariah May. We got highlights of the Continental Classic that is shown. The finals between Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay. We then see that the return of Kenny Omega is coming, or we see the return of Kenny Omega. at the pay-per-view. Then it turns into a highlight package of Kenny, and it says Kenny's coming back next week. We get another video package. I'm like, damn, a lot of video packages on this show. We get another video package of Okada, and he basically says that he is the best tournament wrestler alive. Okada told his little brother, Will Ospreay, nice try, and then tells Kenny Omega, stay out of my business, bitch. So they're really building up to Kenny and Okada. I don't think that happens until July and All In. Because if you saw at the pay-per-view, while they were doing their little face-to-face thing, no words spoken between Okada and Omega, on the screen behind them was an All In graphic, like a teaser, like a, hey, tickets on sale now kind of thing, July 12th. So I think they may stretch Omega Okada. Maybe not even, maybe just do subtle teases here and there, but keep them away from each other until that. And that's one of their big matches on their biggest show of the year. The Mercedes Moné comes down for a New Year's celebration.
This was not needed at all.
No. Mercedes comes down to the ring. Commentary plugs Wrestle Dynasty this weekend and her New Japan Strong Women's title on the line against Mina Shirakawa in her Rev Pro Women's Championship. Moné does her signature line, and she's like, Asheville, say hello to your CEO. And like nobody did it with her. They don't freaking care. She then sends it to a video package all about herself. All of her Sports Illustrated top match rankings and this and that. And number one spot against, best women's match of the year against Suzuki. And then Moné said that you haven't seen anything yet from what's in store for me in 2025. Moné said Mina Shirakawa has something she wants. More gold and that Rev Pro championship. And Mina, you know what I always say, money changes everything. And that was it. Excalibur then said, it's title versus title of Wrestle Dynasty. And there's like a little graphic in the corner, but it only says New Japan Women's Strong title. So the graphic was wrong. Yeah, I get it. They're trying to promote that pay-per-view or whatever for New Japan because they got a bunch of wrestlers on it. But yeah, no. This wasn't needed.
I kind of view this as? I view this as like, so when Gabe Kidd was saying how like AEW does nothing for New Japan.
Yep, I thought is where you're going.
This is basically saying, oh, we do stuff for New Japan. We're promoting this show.
Yeah. So we get a nice little video here, basically telling us why this show is called Fight for the Fallen, because this show is helping raise money for people in Asheville and hurricane relief and all of that. So different ways that you can support. And also they show Dax Harwood handing out a couple checks. One to the World Center Kitchen and another one to Asheville Dream Center. Alex Marvez is backstage with Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. And I swear to fucking God, Adam Cole's over here talking like he won at the pay-per-view. No, bro, you fucking lost. You lost to MJF. But he's all cool, buddy. Hey, me, Kyle O'Reilly are back together. What up? And I'm like, you are way too happy-go-lucky for someone that got their ass beat by MJF. I kicked in the nards. So O'Reilly says, or Cole says, Undisputed Kingdom, we're complete. We're back together. O'Reilly said that they have it all covered. We got trios, we got tag team singles, triple threats. Roderick, you got one tonight. Strong says that he couldn't have said it any better. As tonight, he will win his match, and then remind them next week that, it's every man for himself in the gauntlet, but one of us are going to win. So I think they're telling us Kyle and Cole are supposed to be in this match as well, the gauntlet match. So we'll see. But yeah, just a segment to be like, hey, we're cool. That then led to this match. Switchblade Jay White, Swerve Strickland, and Roderick Strong, with the winner getting a shot at, winner getting the number one spot in the gauntlet match next week. Also, I thought it was funny. Swerve's coming down to the ring, and like Roddy's ready in the ring, and Switchblade's on the apron, and he's just like, doing the like Prince Nana thing, kind of like Swerve's music's playing and he's just like on the apron. He's like jamming out to Swerve's music. I thought it was funny because that's not the only time he plays that up either. There's another time where he takes down Swerve on the outside during the match. And then he walks over to Prince Nana and he's like, does the little Prince Nana thing at him. And he's just like, ah. I thought it was funny. But
I don't think I've seen him do that yet.
yeah, no, he was doing like the Prince Nana dance, but he was doing like the guns up at the same time with like the finger guns. It was like his version of the Prince Nana dance, but he had the guns up finger guns. It was funny. It was funny.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
Because then there was a spot also where he like suplexed or whatever, Swerve onto the apron, and then he walks over to Prince Nana and he does a little bit of the little Prince Nana shimmy. I thought it was funny. Kind of provoking and mocking Prince Nana with his own dance because he walks over and like he does the little suplex to Swerve on the apron, and then he walks to the other side of the ring where Roddy is, and as he walks past Prince Nana, he's just step, and then he looks at Nana and then just keeps on going. I thought it was funny as hell. I love Jay White though. Jay White's probably, if I had to tell you who my favorite wrestlers in AEW were, he's probably in my top 3. He's probably him, Omega, and Hangman are my top 3 favorite AEW wrestlers. Because I would say for sure, when he was in New Japan, he was my favorite guy in New Japan. As far as this match does go, a lot of action, a lot of fast-paced action too. Some of us did feel a little rushed to me. White was sent to the outside early on as a flashy suplex sent Strong to the outside, allowing Strickland to hit a backflip over the top onto White for a huge ovation. Back inside, a signature flying uppercut on White, but Strong broke up the pin. Double DDT from White, who fired off a series of chops before dumping both Strong and Strickland out. Front face suplex on the apron delivered to both, but as everyone was back in the ring, Strong was the one who went for Strickland and White, crashing down onto one another, putting him in control. When we come back from a commercial break, they're all just kind of fighting, doing things in the ring. Nothing really like big or special or important. It's just 3 guys doing moves here and there until Strickland kind of gets control. He power bombs Strong into White in the corner before delivering a power bomb into a power slam on White. As we go, he goes for a rolling flatliner. Strong countered into a code breaker on Strickland, and then an angle slam and a tiger driver from Strong to White for a 2. At one point, White wanted a Blade Runner but missed as Strickland hit the rolling flatliner. Strickland wanted a swerve stomp, but Strong cut him off. White rolled to the floor, and Strickland was left to decide who to go after and settle for Strong. The pump kick to Strong on the apron as Strickland walked the barricade and hit another to White until Ricochet would appear and pop Strickland in the head with a gold pair of scissors. And he just, boom, hits him right on the hairline. And Swerve is bleeding back in the ring. Strong and White roll in, and instantly White hits the Blade Runner and pins Roddy 1, 2, 3. So
where did the gold pair of scissors come from?
Ricochet just brought them with him. I don't know.
There's no backstory with it.
Not that I know of. I don't know if there's a significance here. I don't know. But he just had scissors with him. And then so Jay White wins, and him and Roddy just kind of just disappear. And it's all about Ricochet and Swerve. And so Strickland's bleeding. Ricochet slowly steps over the barricade and holds the scissors up to Nana, trying to, keep him away. Ricochet then drove the scissors into the head of Strickland repeatedly. He's got blood all over him now. Strickland's bleeding all over his face. And Ricochet's laughing. Nana tries to wrestle, wrestle a chair and maybe try to hit Ricochet with a chair or something. I don't know exactly what Nana was trying to do, but he ends up getting hit with the chair. Prince Nana. They go to the ring. Ricochet places Strickland on the chair and hit him with a spirit gun. And all of a sudden, Roddy shows back up because Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly run off Ricochet, and they check on Swerve. Ricochet bails. He continues to laugh, and Strickland is being checked on by the Undisputed Kingdom. No Taven and Bennett, though. Doctors then come to check on him, and we go to a break. So, yeah. I don't know where the scissors play into, but...
Yeah, surprisingly, no Taven and Bennett. Where the heck are those guys?
I feel like they're just sometimes here and sometimes not. Weird. It's just weird. David Decker says, Could be the scissors a reference to Ricochet cutting Swerve's hair. When Ricochet cut Swerve's hair? Did I miss something? I remember what Hangman, was it Hangman that took a lock of Swerve's hair or whatever? I don't remember Ricochet doing that. Did Ricochet cut Swerve's hair?
Not that I know of.
I'll look this up. No, wasn't it Christian that cut Swerve's hair? Might have been Christian that cut Swerve's hair. Now that I think about it, because I remember it was yes, because it was Luchasaurus Killswitch that like pulled the dreadlock out or whatever it was, or ripped it or whatever. I think is what it was. So, yeah, we're getting Ricochet and Swerve here soon. Probably more of that in the Gauntlet match next week because both men will probably be in that match.
Well, old Lucha Underground rematch almost. I think those guys wrestled in Lucha Underground.
Did we have a? Hold on, let me see.
Killshot versus Prince Puma. I think we've seen that.
That's exactly what I'm Googling here. Here, let me do this. It'll be easier if I just go to cage match. I like how you go to cage match, you find somebody's name, and then you click. Let's just go Ricochet. Actually, yeah, Strickland cage match, and then you go to matches, and you can narrow your search. And let's type in Prince Puma. They teamed together in a match that never aired on television. Yeah, they teamed together in a trios match that wasn't filmed for television. It was Black Lotus, Killshot, and Prince Puma against Big Rick, Cheerleader Melissa, and Jeff Cobb. They never had a match against each other in Lucha Underground. Also, Muscle Man with a bit donation. He says, what do you guys think about the Costco guys doing more stuff with AEW? Also, do you guys think AEW will get more celebrities working for AEW? I mean, I can see them bringing in more celebrities. I don't know who, but I can see them maybe peppering in one or two this year. Costco guys for sure are going to do more with AEW. AJ has already said that. He's already said once he's cleared and he's got the boot off of his foot that he will be back in AEW. So that is a thing. I don't know what the plan is, but it looks like, god dang, Big Boom AJ versus Chris Jericho. Because Big Justice called Jericho a jackass.
I think you already know how I feel about the Costco guys.
Yeah, same here. They say that the Costco guys are supposed to get the younger demographic in. My son's 13 and says those guys are annoying. He's like, why do I want to watch their videos when every single video they do is just them doing the same dance and singing the same song? And that's supposed to be their demographic, a 13-year-old kid. So
apparently that kid doesn't even go to school.
No, I think I don't know. They're probably homeschooled.
They said he does like a hybrid school.
Yeah. I had a friend like that growing up, but basically because they had a family-owned business. So it was like he would come to school once or twice a week, and then the rest of the week he did all of his schooling from home, and he graduated 2 years early.
Jeez.
Yeah. So backstage got more Alex Marvez. He was Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh, who said they haven't heard from Jeff Jarrett, and all of a sudden Jeff Jarrett just shows up. And they're like, whatever he's planning, they support him 100%. Karen then shows up and says, hey, this business is what brought us together. And I've seen this business almost tear you down as well. Whatever you want, I want. We're unbreakable. We're in this together. And she hands Jeff a pair of wrestling boots, and he walks off towards the ring. Mariah May's then shown backstage and said that Mariah May was shown backstage and said was asking to stop saying bad things about the women's division or she was asked to stop saying bad things about the women's division and said, well, when you got someone that can, be on my level, then I will. When you got other women that are equal to me, then I will. She said, these women here are busy faking injuries, failing auditions, not remembering who they are. And she is here to try and bring it all together, basically. She says she is she's got a trail of broken hearts, bodies, and minds. And nobody realizes how good she really is. She says, I am the epic, and it's time for others to prove themselves to me. She says she is the woman from hell. You can't touch me. And she'd love to see someone try. Same promo she cuts every 2 or 3 weeks. I'm better than everybody here, and no one can beat me. Then they give her fucking Thunder Rosa. That match, don't get me started. I didn't care at all.
Hey, man, I like Thunder Rosa.
I had nothing against Thunder Rosa, but when Thunder Rosa only has 2 wins in 4 months and they're both against Harley Cameron and one is Harley Cameron pretending to be hologram, how does that get you a title shot? And why is the match got to be a street fight? A street fight is something you build to because something that happened in a previous match. Nothing happened between these two in a previous match. Anyways. There was a guitar setup in the ring as Jeff Jarrett makes his way down, boots over his shoulders. They want you to think he's about to retire, but it's like, when you make it this obvious, you know it's not happening. But Jeff Jarrett comes down to the ring and says a bunch of things and thanks the fans and thanks everybody that's been involved in his career and wishes everybody a slappy New Year's. He said it's sad to start thinking about things coming to an end. But, the new year made him think about where he came from, his beginnings. Jarrett talked about his grandmother starting to sell wrestling tickets back in the day, thus changing his family's life forever. High risks are something that he knows very well. High risk brings high reward and decisions. He said that, his family is a family of promoters. His father became a wrestling promoter, bought the promotion in Tennessee, and in 1986, when Jeff got in the industry, it ultimately led to him starting his own promotion in 2002. But he never said the words TNA, which is interesting. Very interesting. He never said TNA, at least not that I heard. He said, I started a place that developed some of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Jeff grabbed his boots and asked if the last outlaw should ride off into the sunset. And the answer?
Honestly,
go for it.
Honestly, the first time I recognized Jeff Jarrett was from TNA, so.
Yes, go for it.
I'm surprised he didn't say TNA though.
Well, he said, I started my own promotion in 2002, which was Risky. That's TNA. He mentioned TNA.
I'm surprised he didn't say like TNA.
Someone must have told him not to say those letters. Like, there's a reason he didn't, I assume.
That was probably a Tony Khan thing, honestly.
Maybe. So, he said, should the last outlaw ride into the sunset? The answer is hell no. Why not take the biggest risk ever to try and get the biggest reward ever? And I just signed a new contract at the AEW, which will be my last contract as a wrestler. He says, I will end my career here in AEW. And the last outlaw wants to ride one more time. I want gold, and not just any gold, but I want to take the biggest risk possible. We have a gauntlet match next week. Put my name in it, because my New Year's revolution is to become the AEW World Champion. And my first thought was, fuck. Is Jeff Jarrett the one to beat Jon Moxley? Because Tony Khan likes to give these wrestlers that he grew up watching the big send-off, the big hurrah, what they want to end their career. He did it with Sting. Is he going to do it with Jeff Jarrett?
God, I hope not. This is basically their version of the John Cena farewell tour.
But it's going to go a couple of years. It's not going to be 1 year because he signed a new deal, and I doubt it's a 1 year deal.
Well, he said my last hurrah will be 2025.
Well, no. He said I got one last run, and it starts here in 2025 as my New Year's revolution is to be a world champion. So I mean, you could be right in thinking it's a 1-year deal, but I don't know. I feel like if he signed a new contract, that'd be what, 3 years? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Meltzer or Sean Ross Sapp will give us some info in the next 24 hours.
I don't know. If they said I signed a new deal, this will be my send off. Like if it's 3 years, people are gonna get bored of it.
I mean, AJ Styles signed a new contract with WWE a year or two ago, and he said that was going to be his last one, and I think it was like a 5-year deal.
I mean, that's kind of different though. Well, this one's different because like the way Jeff Jarrett worded it is probably gonna do like a farewell tour.
Yeah, I don't know, but he says his goal is to be the AEW World Champion. All about that one. Also, Esports Gaming Rules says, are you doing updates or reviews of New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom 19, and Wrestle Dynasty? So, I think it's a tough one. I'm not sure. I know I'm going to watch both shows. I think it all just depends on. So let me see. Let me double check the dates. So Wrestle Kingdom will be Friday night our time into Saturday morning, and then Saturday night into Sunday morning will be Wrestle Dynasty. I think I'm not going to guarantee. I know I will post updates and stuff if I don't do a full review. But I think it's like both shows aren't fully interesting me. Are you interested in either of these shows, Wrestle Kingdom or Wrestle Dynasty?
I mean, I know Wrestle Kingdom is always good, but like when I watch it, probably not.
Okay, you say Wrestle Kingdom's usually good, but is a nothing against either of these guys, is a Zack Sabre Jr. Shota Umino main event interesting you to watch this show?
Probably not.
Yeah, no. Nothing against Shota Umino, but it's like him in the main event? What? So, I don't know.
I think the last time I watched, I think I only watched like one Wrestle Kingdom. It was like half of the show because I fell asleep through the other half.
I mean, I watch it every year, but it's not playing it by ear. Esports Gaming Rules. I think I might only do Wrestle Dynasty because the Kenny match.
So wait, Kenny's not wrestling for Wrestle Kingdom?
No, it's the next night, January 5th, Wrestle Dynasty, him and Gabe Kidd.
Oh yeah, Gabe Kidd's contract is coming up soon with New Japan.
I can tell you exactly. Fifo reported that. Fifo reported. Give me 2 seconds and I can tell you. Not there. Gabe Kidd's contract is coming up soon. Gabe work, Ring of Honor tapings, and it doesn't say when. It just says soon. All it says is Gabe Kidd's contract is expiring soon with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but we haven't heard if there are any. It says Gabe is expected to be a talent that New Japan hopes to retain. We haven't heard of any negotiations to sign a new deal. So there you go. Then we had a squash match with Powerhouse Hobbs. It was him against John Cruz and Rob Killjoy. Hobbs immediately mowed down both guys, or Cruz before turning, mowed down Cruz and then Killjoy afterwards. Big lariat, big splashes in the corner, massive spine buster to Killjoy. Lowered the straps, spine buster to Cruz. Killed them both and pinned them. There we go. So yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs wins. And I think they said he's going to be in the gauntlet next week. Any thoughts? Just squash.
I mean, just squash, and it'll probably just be like a big guy in the gauntlet.
Yeah. So we got Alex Marvez in the back with Big Bill and Brian Keith. They're talking about, things going on. Not really saying much. No Chris Jericho. And then they said North Carolina is just okay. Jericho ain't coming here. And then all of a sudden, here's rated FTR. They start talking crap about both of them. Bill said that home is where you find themselves, and the learning tree found themselves in a position to knock the hometown heroes down a branch or two. Keith calls them rated dumbass. And Copeland goes, "Oh, Jericho tell you to say that line? Because you look stupid." He looks at Bill and goes, "Yeah, stupid face." And he goes, "You know what? How about it's rated FTR versus the learning tree, you guys and Chris Jericho. this Saturday, Collision in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the match gets made. So there we go. Also, don't shoot me for this, but I don't know who Sweet Daddy Siki is, but they ran an in memorial graphic for him. He passed away. WWE also put up a post about it as well. Rest in peace, Big Daddy Siki. I've never heard of him, so not really sure his backstory in professional wrestling.
Yeah, I have no clue who this guy is. I thought it was just like an actor or something.
No, because WWE posted it as well. And when I saw the AEW graphic, I was like, let me look this up. And yeah, he's a wrestler.
Yeah, I have no clue who this guy is.
Yeah, I had never heard of him either. So then we get a video of MJF that we've already seen on social media. It was from after World's End. He congratulated Adam Cole. He was backstage congratulating Adam Cole. But corrects himself, goes, oh, wait, no. Adam Cole didn't win. I won. Adam Cole lost, of course, because I'm better. He said it took an army to beat me up. And thankfully, mercifully, the chapter of Better Than You, Baby has finally come to a close. But now it's time for retribution. It's time to get back my Triple B. Something taken from him without him actually losing. It's being, he said it's being paraded around in a briefcase and questions Jon Moxley calling himself a king when a king is not as good as a god. He said no one is on the level of the devil. Something Moxley should know very well. MJF doesn't care if Moxley burns AEW to the ground because in 2025, the devil gets his due. Part 2. He said, I'm looking forward to putting the Adam Cole stuff behind me and coming for the king. Basically, MJF is another guy that wants to go after Moxley in the AEW World Title. Now we got
everybody just wants to go after Moxley at this point.
So now we got Christian still with his contract. We got Jay White wanting the belt. We got Swerve wanting to get the belt back. We've got Cope wanting the belt back. And now MJF, or wanting the belt, and MJF wanting the belt back. So, yeah, there's 5 guys right there that are talking about wanting to go for the world title. Who do you think? You think any of them beat him?
Probably. It's going to be Darby at the end.
But when? Do you think they wait all the way till they go all in?
Double or nothing.
You think they do it before all in? You don't think Darby wins it in the biggest show of the year?
Maybe. I have an idea.
Go for it.
Have him win the Owen Hart Classic and challenge Moxley at All In.
Well, no, that would make the most sense. You win the Owen. If they do it the same way they did last year, the winner of the Owen gets a title shot at All In. So that would make the most sense. Darby couldn't win the Continental Classic, but he can win the Owen. And then that gets him the title shot against Mox. That would make the most sense if it is, in fact, Darby at the end. We assume it is. We don't know 100%. Plans could change. If you remember, originally, one plan was Darby taking the title from Danielson, and that all changed.
Is Danielson winning Moxley?
Yep. Then we have our main event. It's a trios match, rated FTR versus the Death Riders. But before we get into that, we got to hear from our sponsor, David's Cookies. When it comes to delicious, there's nothing quite like David's Cookies 5-pound cookie and brownie tin. Imagine the joy of opening a tin filled with an irresistible assortment of freshly baked cookies and rich, fudgy brownies. Perfect for sharing with family, gifting to friends, or indulging yourself. This tin is packed with love and flavor. Whether it's for a special occasion or just because, make every moment sweeter with David's Cookies 5-pound cookie and brownie tin. Order now with our link in the description below. Hit that QR code on the screen or use our link pwunlimited.co/David's Cookies now to get yourself or someone special that ultimate dessert experience. So with that, we got our main event. Justin Roberts announces the Rated R Superstar Go! But I'm like, what, huh? Did I hear that right? Did I read that right? And then Excalibur talks about him changing his name or whatever, and the everything, video boards, entrance, everything says Cope. And I'm like, what the Cope? Why the name change? You just Cope? Huh? Cope. Really?
It's a Vince McMahon name change.
Like, really? He's just Cope? Makes no sense whatsoever. Again, let me read to you what Excalibur said about the name change. Excalibur's wording on why the name change was, and I quote, "He had numerous names in his long career, but now he's just decided to go for Cope." That's all he said. That's the explanation. That's the explanation. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Cope? Do we really need a name change? Adam Copeland is not a bad name at all. Also, after World's End, he literally told a story at the press conference. For the first time in my career, I actually got to sit with my girls and show them that our last name, Copeland, is on the box of an action figure because of AEW. Well, not your next one, Cope.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
Anyway, as far as the match does go, not a bad match, but I wouldn't call it great either. Commentary plug, Kalia Castagnoli, working New Japan this weekend. Castagnoli being sent as a mercenary by Moxley to hurt his former protege Shota Umino at Wrestle Dynasty. Which, and I doubt it, if Shota Umino wins the title against Zack Sabre Jr. the night before, then I think the Claudio match becomes a title match. If not, then I think Ricochet and Zack Sabre Jr. is for the IWGP World title. Also, apparently they did mention that Sweet Daddy Siki helped train Cope. So
I thought Bret Hart trained him.
No. He was trained by he wasn't trained by the Harts. He was trained by, hold on. Like Rob,
no, I guess
Rob something, I think.
Was that the same guy that helped train Christian Cage?
Well, yeah, they trained together. And one of the same guys that trained Ron Hutchison is the guy that he always credits with training him, who trained Copeland, of course. Or not Copeland, Christian. And actually, that's where Beth went to train as well, was with Ron Hutchison. So, according to this, Ron Hutchison trained Christian, Edge, Stratus, Gail Kim, Beth Phoenix, Tracy Brooks, Tiger Ollie Singh, Johnny Swinger, David Diamond, Kid Lightning, The Original Sin, and Asylum are the most notable names trained by Ron Hutchison. Oh, okay. So here we go. Ron Hutchison and Sweet Daddy Siki owned a wrestling school together. It was called Ron Hutchison's Wrestling Academy at Sully's Gym. Ron Hutchison and Sweet Daddy Siki were the co-owners of the school. Gotcha. Which is weird, though, because whenever Beth, Christian, Copeland, they all talk about their training, they talk about how they were trained by Ron Hutchison. Trish as well. I was trained by Ron Hutchison. I learned from Ron Hutchison. They never bring up Big Daddy Siki. Hey, we're learning wrestling history here on the fly. Rest in peace, Big Daddy Siki. As far as this match does go, Yuta and Harwood started things off with Yuta taking brutal chops repeatedly until Cope tagged in and Yuta bailed. Castagnoli tagged and tagged him for the first time at a face-off with Yuta. They traded some shoulder blocks and whatnot. Neither really did much. Traded hip tosses as Castagnoli is sent to the top rope. Cope then follows this up with the baseball slide. Castagnoli was sent into the apron, but as the ref was distracted, Marina Shafir posted Cope hard as we went to a commercial break. Moxley just standing around, just watching everything go on, like, I don't got to do shit. That was all Death Riders during the break, isolating Cope on their side of the ring, who finally did drop Wheeler Yuta down and get the hot tag to Cash Wheeler. He ran in for a huge pop from the crowd. Nice, fast little sequence here. House of Fire. Yuta and Wheeler go at it for a little while. Counter a couple moves, and then I think Wheeler hit a snap power slam for a 2. Harwood's back in, and Castagnoli tags in as well. But Castagnoli cut off a spike pile driver attempt. Harwood countered a pop-up uppercut into a suplex as Yuta nearly stole the pin for a 2. Harwood then flew out of the corner with a crossbody for a 2, but Yuta responded with an angle slam for the double down spot. Yuta then went up to the top, but was cut off with a massive avalanche back suplex for a 2. At one point, Cope and Moxley both tagged in and slugged it out as everyone in the crowd were on their feet. Cope spun out of a Death Rider attempt and hit an Impaler DDT, but Moxley bailed before a spear could hit. Cope was out of it, and they brawled into the crowd, but ultimately made their way back into the ring, where Moxley blind tagged Yuta. Cope was planted with a DDT as Yuta signaled for a spear, but then ran into a pop-up Liger bomb for a 2. Moving forward towards the end of the match, at one point, Castagnoli and Moxley cleared off the announce table. Moxley kissed Tony Schiavone on the cheek before teasing a pile driver, but Cope backdropped him onto the table instead. All this distraction, all of a sudden, the camera cuts quick to the ring, and you just see Switchblade hitting Jay White with the Blade Runner. You see like mid-move. Cope then tackles Moxley through the barricade. Yuta ate a shatter machine, a spear, and Copeland pins him to pick up the win. Like, just out of nowhere, all of a sudden, oh, hey, Switchblade, what are you doing here? He takes out Yuta, and then that leads to the finish. Okay. Cool. I don't know.
I mean, too much going on here. That's way too much going on here.
Did you just put a bit donation in the Twitch chat?
I did.
For what reason? You're literally on this show, bud.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay. Says, you guys ever been recognized in public by wrestling fans? Have any wrestlers recognized you guys from the channel?
I mean, it's mainly just one of those questions that's like from the podcast that we kind of worked on together for one of my classes. So I just figured, why not?
I mean, for me, I've been recognized when I worked StarCast as media, and I've been recognized twice at WWE events. And then when I lived in California, I went and hung out with some guys at a wrestling school called Best of the West. And a couple of the guys from the school knew the channel. So that answers that for me.
For me, it only happened once. I was entering an NXT show, and someone recognized me from the channel. My mom had like the biggest smile on her face.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But ever since I've like helped out the channel, I've only been to like 3 shows, I believe.
Wait, take it back. There's another time. So I was recognized at 2 WWE events I was at, and then the only time I've been to a Dynamite. And I didn't get a media pass for the show, but a media guy that worked for the local NBC recognized me from the channel. So that was cool.
The local NBC?
Yeah. Guy that works for the local NBC was there as media to write up a little article about AEW coming for the first time to Fresno. And he's like, hey, aren't you Pro Wrestling Unlimited? Because I kind of sat in the same area that they put him in. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any wrestlers recognized us. I mean, I don't know for you, but
like I said, when I went and hung out at a wrestling school a couple of times, and I was like learning things, like they were teaching me a couple like, behind the scenes stuff. It was really cool because I actually got to sit in what would be their gorilla position for an entire show that they filmed during COVID, and I got to like help out a little bit. So that was really cool. But a couple of the people that work for them, I don't know if you would call them students because they're all like indie wrestlers that just train there. A couple of them knew the channel.
I know you like interviewed quite a few like indie wrestlers before.
Maybe like 3 or 4. I've only done a handful of reviews. Not that many. I want to do more.
Ooh, Ethan Page, Mansoor.
Robert Martyr.
Who's that?
It was an indie guy. It was an indie guy. Then we got the interview because basically when WWE was running out of the PC when COVID first started, they brought in indie wrestlers and NXT wrestlers to be the crowd. And basically he reached out and was like, hey, I was in the crowd if you want to know any info on how WWE ran the show. And I just interviewed him about it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then like we've interviewed when the WrestleQuest game came out, I interviewed the developer of that game. And then the first interview I ever did was the Joe Hendrick interview me and Nick did together.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Do you still have that?
It's all up on the channel.
Let me find that real quick, actually.
Yeah, Nick and I did that one together. It was the first interview I ever did.
Didn't you guys interview Man Stewart together?
Yes. What did you guys think of Dynamite? The Twitch poll is going up right now. I liked it.
Jeez, that was like during his ICW days. That's an old one.
Yeah, it was when like probably most wrestling fans wouldn't have known his name.
Hey, ICW was honestly a classic when Joe Hendry was there.
Oh, for sure.
That was probably his best music videos. Of like anytime he would fight someone, he would make that music video.
So looking here, if you guys are watching on Twitch, the poll is now live. As far as the polls do go, let's refresh all of those. Holy crap. Not wrestling related, but apparently 11 people shot in a nightclub in Queens, New York.
Jeez.
We're going crazy today. New Orleans, Las Vegas, now New York. But as far as the polls do go, as far as the Threads poll does go, 40% liked the show. Oof, that's low. 30% thought it was just all right, and 30% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 42% didn't like the show, 36% liked it, and 21% thought it was just all right. We both said it. Not one of the better Dynamites, and other people are agreeing. As far as the YouTube community poll, a little better. 67% liked the show, 18% didn't, and 15% thought it was just all right. Look at the live poll here. Basically the same thing. 67% liked the show, 23% thought it was just all right, and 11% didn't like it. And finally, as far as Twitch does go, 40% liked it, 40% didn't like it, and 20% thought it was just all right. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. But Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at PetU_21. And you can also find me over at Twitch at Young Grasshopper Luke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys. All right, if you're still watching live on Twitch, we're going to head